My name is Ryan Montgomery, and I'm the owner of Montgomery Distillery in downtown Missoula. I like to tell people that I came to distilling from the consumer side. I was an avid consumer of distilled spirits. My wife and I were living overseas at the time, and we were trying to find a way to move back to Montana. And we made a list, and the first thing on our list was make whiskey. When we built out the distillery, this backspace was unfinished. We didn't have the money to finish, and we didn't know what to do with it anyway. So one winter, about 2 years ago, me and another guy who works here, Tad, bought old motorcycles with the idea of tearing them down and learning how to repair them, and it's just exploded over time into what you see now, and more of our employees have kind of been infected by the bug in riding.
The culture that we have here at the distillery around riding is so fantastic, and it's almost like the subconscious of the distillery is here in the motorcycle room. People don't know that we have this huge space back here, and yet I think it just represents a lot of the values that hold us together. There's an envelope on the wall in the office. It's like, so-and-so's bike fund, and people will put money in there so folks can get their next bike. So more and more people have come into it.
I think what Ryan's done with motorcycles at Distillery is awesome. He's super passionate about them himself, which is great for all his employees because he's enabling them to do that by really supporting that. And part of riding motorcycles is that it's the camaraderie for sure, and he's created that within the distillery, which is kind of seeping out into Missoula. And in my opinion, that kind of motorcycle scene is like the best scene, where it's just friends hanging out. Like, it's just guys riding bikes because it's fun.
Missoula has a really nice, vibrant motorcycle community. There's a lot of good spirit here, good spirited riding, a lot of interest in vintage motorcycles, which I really love. There are a lot of young guys that are really getting into it and really starting to appreciate the visceral experience of riding an old bike, right? And then little shows like this, it's not big, but it's really amazing, and you see some really beautiful stuff.
Well, every Father's Day we have a motorcycle show called Spirits and Spokes. It really came out of our desire to see the coolest bikes in Missoula up close ourselves. There's a lot of motorcycle enthusiasts in Missoula who have amazing bike collections, and they like people to see them. They like to ride them. They don't like to hide them in their garages.
I mean, machines are beautiful to look at. There's a lot of beautiful bikes here, but really they're made to be ridden. It's not like a painting that's only made to look at. Its real purpose is to be ridden and listened to and appreciated.
I think Montana's really special because there's amazing vistas, there's twisty mountain roads, there's the smell of pine and fir, and there's the smell of hay getting cut, the water as you're riding by a river, and it's something that you're constantly amazed by.
There's no way you can get that when you're in a car. Like, you don't smell it or like really feel it, but when you're on a bike, you see so much more. You like feel so much more of where you're at.
You have that sense of freedom when you're out there. You're in touch with the elements, you're in touch with your body, you have to be really alert. We evolved in conditions that were not insulated from danger.
There's no cage around you in case something happens. So you're really focused entirely almost on the act of riding, and it frees up your mind to discard every other piece of detritus that is floating through your head.
It's the feeling of busting out of the house after dinner on my bike that restores me. And it's something that is really part of our family culture. We have a sidecar that enables our son, who has a little cerebral palsy, to take part in this hobby and in this adventure. So it's a way of really sharing the beauty and the landscape with him. Around every corner, there's a new panorama of water and woods and mountains and sky, and that's what Montana's really about. There's so much beautiful art and literature about just traveling our roads.
Just riding along through the open plains with a straight stretch of road in front of you and all your friends around you in the most beautiful place in the world can't be beat. The experience can't be beat.